Kiwi sent over the Allegro Pro DAC amp for us to do our tests on. It's an all-metal construction DAC amp that features both inputs for a 3.5mm jack and a 4.4 balanced input. This has two ES9063 amplifiers within, which are able to drive very high impedance headphones. And with the tests that I've done, this drives your headsets very loudly. It outputs 68 milliwatts for the 3.5mm input and outputs a total of 170 milliwatts for the 4.4 balanced input. And I think that is plenty enough power as it drives the Kiwi Ear septet very easily. I couldn't even crank up volumes above 50%. This has total bitrate of up to 32 bits at a maximum of 384 kilohertz and also features DSD-128. If your audio gear has a built-in microphone on it, I'm very happy that the Allegro Pro also detects microphone inputs. So if you're using this as a sound card on your PC and you connect your headset with a boom mic on this sound card, your microphone will work. Outside of the box, you get the Allegro Pro and some documentation only. And that's pretty much it. This has a USB-C male connector that is panned to one side of the device. Now, I don't have any issues connecting it to my phone, and even with my phone's rubber case on it, it still fits perfectly. You get branding of Kiwi ears right in front, which I think looks cool as it's what I think is an engraving on the aluminum sheet. Then underneath the DAC amp, you get the LED indicator and a button, which allows you to connect this to a Nintendo Switch and also acts as a mode switch. The mode switch allows you to cycle through its built-in presets, which on paper changes the tuning of the device. So this has game mode, music mode, and theater mode. My first impression before I ever did my tests was with the game mode, you get more bass. Where the music mode, you get a more aggressive V-shaped tuning, or maybe even a U-shaped tuning where there's a lift in the bass region and the highs. And as for theater mode, I guess this should increase sub-bass and upper mid-range to promote atmosphere and dialogue. And after doing my tests, let me share with you what I figured out. First and foremost, without any tuning preset activated, the output is very neutral. And to give you more context, when I say neutral, it gives off a flat tuning, allowing for the stock tuning of the headset itself that you're using to shine. I see this as a beneficial device, especially for tech reviewers like me who need a flat-tuned DAC amp. This is so we could perceive the actual audio gear's sound signature with more accuracy. My ears did not hear any coloration in sound, at least at the level that my ears are capable of hearing. I do have to admit that it could potentially make your audio device sound bland and boring. But this is not a bad thing because I would highly recommend this to professionals who need accurate audio reproduction. Now let's go over its built-in presets. And starting with the game mode, I'd like to think I hear more sub-bass. In some mixes, I think I do hear a lift in the sub-bass region. Yet in some mixes, I don't hear any difference at all with the flat preset and the game mode. And it's just about the same with music mode and theater mode. So I had no choice but to resort in test tones. And here's where things get interesting, as there actually is a very slight boost around 100 Hz to 150 Hz in all modes. For game mode, I didn't hear any lift in the higher frequencies and upper mid-range. But for the music mode, I heard a very slight tad bit of boost around 4000 Hz region for more energy and detail. Then for theater mode, the boost is around 2000 Hz to 4000 Hz, as I suspected. Now this is designed to lift up dialogues in movies. The only downside here, and also the one thing I would change with these presets, is I would make them more aggressive and more obvious. Because without me having to use test tones and solely relying on music, gaming, or watching movies, I just could not hear the difference. Some reviews that I've watched about the Allegro Pro also mentioned the same thing, as they also couldn't hear an obvious difference with these presets. But anyways, I'd like to think that it's still good to have them, because why not, right? Now to sum up this whole review, I do highly recommend the Allegro Pro, most especially for professionals. For gamers, I would highly suggest that you resort with audio gear that already have somewhat like a V-shaped tuning. Or if you're gaming and you just want to use this DAC amp because of its neutrality, yet you also want to be able to use this in-game, then I suggest you get yourself an equalization software and boost 200 Hz. If equalization is not an option for you and you just want to be using DAC for gaming, I would also highly recommend the Kiwi Ears Allegro Mini. Now I reviewed this along with my video review for the Kiwi Ears Aeroso, and to give you a brief background, it does have a lift in the sub-bass region. I will leave links down in the description below. Access them and get yourself your Kiwi Ears Allegro Pro. Any questions? Use the comment section and we'll get to you as soon as we can.